Coming up, I'm going to tell you what I think is the number one problem that NASCAR is facing, and we're getting started right now. Hey, what is going on YouTube and fellow race fans? My name is Brandon. Thank you so much for stopping by again. If this is your first time stopping here and you want to talk about all things NASCAR and your opinions about things that happen during races, any news headlines, please go ahead and subscribe and click the bell notification so you don't miss anything. So last night while I was laying in bed looking at social media, I decided to make my own post on Reddit. I'm going to link the article that I read down in the description down here. It's going to go into a little more detail of what I think is the number one problem that NASCAR is facing today. Overall, to be quite honest, it just has to deal with fans and the fact that they complain more than they work on actually talking about the issues that are going on within the sport or the positives that are happening. Let's look at the last 2 weeks. So within the last 2 weeks, we've had Austin Dillon win the Daytona 500 20 years after Dale Earnhardt won his only 500 in the very same car number. Huge, major, big story, good exposure for the sport. On the flip side of that, all folks did was complain about the fact that there were 20-some cars involved in accidents. My response to that is, big deal. Plate racing will involve accidents. It always has, it always will. And you're not going to get NASCAR to do away with the restrictor plates. We've had enough big accidents with restrictor plates. Can you imagine the size of the accidents and the safety issues that would happen if we didn't have the restrictor plates? So that is just a fact of what we do 4 times a year, and that is restrictor plate racing. So let's go ahead now and we fast forward to this week where you have Kevin Harvick, who obviously goes in to be the favorite for this week. He has done so well at Atlanta over the last couple of years, hasn't won there in 17 years after his first win, which once again was a symbolic win because Dale Earnhardt had just recently passed away before then. Harvick goes out and completely dominates the field, puts on a clinic in not only the Cup race but in the Xfinity Series race. And if you haven't seen the victory celebration that was done after that race, I encourage you to find it. I'll even attempt to put a link right up here in regard to the race victory itself so you guys can check it out. Really cool. He tried to mimic what he did 17 years ago. I just thought it was really great for the fans that were there. They were really receptive to it. However, once again on the flip side of it, immediately social media started blowing up last night of how bad the crowd was, how bad the racing itself was, and the fact that Kevin Harvick completely blew the field away. Here's my response. Deal with it. Let's face it, guys. The field had 3 stages, which in turn means they had 3 opportunities to adjust on their race cars, not including all the practice that they had gotten. They had 3 opportunities to fix those race cars and challenge for the lead, and they couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Harvick didn't cheat. He was legal when he started the race. To the best of my knowledge, he was legal when he ended the race. Therefore, he did not cheat. Plain and simple. Now, I will admit that Atlanta was not the most exciting race that I've seen, but not every race that you see in a NASCAR season is going to be exciting. It's just not going to happen. Not every football game that you see the NFL televise is a close game. There are some blowouts that occur. That's what happened here. Kevin Harvick rolled into Atlanta, blew out the rest of the field, took the trophy, and went home. Simple as it is. People complained about the crowd there. My response is, were you and I even watching the same race? If you look at the very beginning of the race, yes, the stands look very sparse. That's because guess what? It's raining. People are looking for cover. They're trying to stay dry. Have you ever been to a racetrack, whether it's your local short track, whether it's a major speedway, in the middle of bad weather? It's miserable to sit up there in the stands with nothing to do. I'm sure fans were out and about trying to stay dry or trying to keep themselves amused during the rain delay. Overall, the crowd, although not being a sellout, was very good at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Especially considering once you're cold and you're damp, it's a miserable rest of the day. Believe me, I know. I've been there. In short, here's where we're at, guys. We have two choices as race fans. Two. I'm not even going to make it difficult. You can either, number one, sit here and you can complain about every little thing that there is with every single NASCAR race. And if you do that, and if you want to be a whiny little brat, that's fine. That's completely up to you. But there are plenty of NASCAR fans that are going to choose to take the second route. And that is, there are things that need to be worked on. Absolutely. And I'm going to put a link up to those that I cover in this week's race review right up here. And those should be talked about. But to sit here and complain about, oh, the race wasn't that good. Oh, the crowd wasn't that good. Those are things that can't be controlled. What can be controlled is you tuning in and contributing to the NASCAR community. So you can either be part of the problem or be part of the solution. Once again, just my personal opinion. I'm going to leave a link down here in the description of the full article that I wrote. That way you guys can definitely take a look and let me know down in the comment section just what you're thinking as well. Just to finish up here, if you haven't already done so, smash that thumbs up button for me. And if you also haven't done so, please consider subscribing if you'd like to see more great race content through the year. I'll see you next time. Have a great day.